Okay, hello guys, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie if you're new here, and we are going to have a very fun Saturday afternoon. I just got my nails done and it's 10:45. So first thing on the agenda is to get some food in my body and then we are going to go book shopping all afternoon. I had an Amazon gift card from work, so I already have my Amazon books that I ordered. They're sitting at home. And then I am going to one local indie bookstore, and then I have some Barnes and Noble gift cards that I want to use. Everything in this video is gift cards or birthday money or Christmas money or something like that. I'm trying to keep myself on a budget with my own money, but I might go a little bit over. We'll see. But I am very excited. Do I have way too many books in my physical TBR? Yes, but I really want to get the special edition Hunger Games books from Barnes & Noble, so that's kind of what inspired this video. But first things first, I'm gonna go get some coffee, get some food, and then I will see you guys at the first bookstore.
Llevo días preocupándome, esta mente ya no da más. Tengo ganas de que llegue el fin, para poder vacilar, hablar del amor con un buen licor, reírse sin control, bailando. Solo me hace falta de ti una llamada, no me queda nada sin ti.
Okay. I think we definitely had a very successful book shopping trip today. I don't even know where to begin because I still have these Amazon packages over here as well. So I'm gonna start with the bag that has the least amount in it and we'll just go from there. So welcome to the book haul portion of this video. This is from my local bookshop, Thank You Books. I adore them. They are probably my favorite indie bookstore, actually favorite bookstore period in the Birmingham area. They are phenomenal. If you're ever in Birmingham, you live in Birmingham or the surrounding area, I could not recommend them enough. They're all angels and I love this place. The first thing I got is not really a book, but it's bookish related. And it's pink. I've been looking at this every single time I've gone into the bookstore for the past several months, I think, since like before December, since like October of last year. And I was waiting for them to get more sizes because I like my hoodies to be a little bit bigger typically, but I wanted this so bad and I had one left, and the girl working the counter told me that she did not know when they were gonna get more sweatshirts back in or what colors they were gonna be. And I specifically wanted the pink one. So it's just a pink crew neck. This is a small, but I think it's still a pretty good size for being a small, to be honest. And it just says, "Thank you for reading," and it's pink and navy and it matches my shoes perfectly. And I've been wanting a pink sweatshirt. I don't have one in this color, and it's just the perfect color pink, as you guys know. And then the back of the shirt just says, "Thank You Books, Birmingham, Alabama." And I'm so excited for this. And then I got 2 books from Thank You Books because I had some birthday/Christmas money left over. Barnes & Noble was all gift cards and Amazon was all gift cards. Ooh, and I have some credits on my account from this purchase, so that's very exciting. These books are really popular. I feel like most people know or have heard of them. But the first one is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've not read any Kristen Hanna before, but I have heard very positive things about this book. I feel like everyone who has read it said that they loved it. The girl working the counter, she told me that her mom read this recently and she was a really big fan. So I'm very excited. With courage, grace, and powerful insight, best-selling author Kristen Hanna captures the epic panorama of World War II and illuminates an intimate part of history seldom seen, the Women's War. It just got really dark in here, sorry. The Nightingale tells the stories of 2 sisters separated by years and experience, by ideals, passion, and circumstance, each embarking on her own dangerous path towards survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. A heartbreakingly beautiful novel that celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the durability of women. It is a novel for everyone, a novel for a lifetime. Oh, she lives in the Pacific Northwest. I've definitely seen like multiple booktubers talk about this book. Most recently though, I was watching Lottie's video of reading books that are gonna make her cry. And she had such an emotional response to this book, so it makes me scared, but it was also the leading reason that I picked this up. I just feel like it's gonna be a really great book, but I know it's gonna rip my heart out. Let me move this bag on the floor and I'll start a little stack over here. Okay. And then I got The Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. I am on the waitlist, or I was on the waitlist for Libby for this book, but I was like 120th in line, and I placed my hold back in January, so I knew I was not going to be on the list for this book anytime soon, but I decided to pick it up because everyone who reads it seems to like it, and this type of book, it's definitely up my alley for most of the books that I rate 5 stars. When global climate change and economic crises lead to social chaos in the early 2020s, California becomes full of dangers from pervasive water shortage to masses of Is it vagabonds or vagabonds? I've heard it pronounced both ways. I'm gonna say vagabonds. Masses of vagabonds who will do anything to live to see another day. 15-year-old Lauren Olamina lives inside a gated community with her preacher father, family, and neighbors, sheltered from the surrounding anarchy. In a society where any vulnerability is a risk, she suffers from hyper-empathy, a debilitating sensitivity to others' emotions. Precocious and clear-eyed, Lauren must make her voice heard in order to protect her loved ones from the imminent disasters her small community stubbornly ignores. But what begins as a fight for survival soon leads to something much more, the birth of a new faith and a startling vision of human destiny. I heard a Clockwork Reader talk about this in books that she wanted to read in 2025, and for me, what I've heard both from, a Clockwork Reader and other people who have read this book is that because it was written in 1993, the parallels between this book, because this book does take place in 2024 and 2025, for her to have written this book 30 years ago and to make these kind of predictions, I guess, and have them come true is chilling. But I'm excited to read it. From what I've, gathered from just skimming the book, it looks like it's kind of in a diary format, and I'm scared, but I'm scared in a good way. I kind of feel like this is in Kurt Vonnegut territory, or like 1984, Fahrenheit 451, those types of books. But this takes place in present day, and I'm kind of scared to read it, but I know it's going to be a fantastic book, and I'm really excited. So that was my little thank you books portion. Now for the big bag. I definitely went a little crazy. I had a lot of money in gift cards to the point where I was just like, maybe I don't need to cash all of them in right now. I did anyway. So I'm just gonna pull them out one by one and see what we get. First one is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I have seen this book. This book is another book that kind of follows me everywhere. I see it every single time I go to the bookstore. It's front and center, staring at me. And I picked up a lot of mystery thrillers at Barnes, and while I do like those books a lot, I definitely wanted something that was going to give me more uplifting spring vibes. So I flat out asked ChatGPT for spring book recommendations, and this was on there. Linus Baker is a by-the-book caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat and his old records for company, but his quiet life is about to change. Linus is summoned by extremely upper management and given a curious and highly classified assignment: travel to an orphanage on a distant island and determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous, in fact, that they're likely to bring out the end of days. When Linus arrives at that strangest of islands, he's greeted by a series of mysterious figures, the greatest mystery of which is Arthur Parnassus, like the bookstore in Nashville, the master of the orphanage. As Linus and Arthur grow closer, Linus discovers the master would do anything to keep the children safe, even if it means the world has to burn. Or worse, his secret comes to light. The House in the Cerulean Sea is an enchanting love story masterfully told about the profound experience of discovering an unlikely family in an unexpected place and realizing that family is yours. The guy working the register at Barnes & Noble also said that he read this book and he really, really enjoyed it. He described it as like whimsical fun, perfect for spring. So this is another one. I'm excited about all of these. I need to stop repeating myself with that, but I am looking forward to reading this one. I have Hunted by Darcy Coates. I found myself in front of the Darcy Coates wall at Barnes, and again, I asked ChatGPT what Darcy Coates' best books were because I really loved Dead of Winter. I got a ton of recommendations, but Hunted really stood out to me the most. 5 days after Eileen Hirschberger went missing on a hike through the remote Ashlow Forest, her camera was discovered washed downriver, containing bizarre photos taken hours after her disappearance. But with no body and no additional clues, finding Eileen in the dark and winding woods seems next to impossible. Chris wants to believe his sister is still alive. When the police search is abandoned, he and 4 of his friends vow to scout scour the mountain range until they find Eileen and bring her home. But as the small group strays farther from the trails and the unsettling discoveries mount, they begin to realize they're not alone, and Eileen's disappearance was no accident. 100% up my alley. I'm so excited. It's kind of giving me Blair Witch Project vibes, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, honestly. And I'm just very excited. I love a good fast-paced mystery thriller. There's just nothing like it. But I'm very excited to read more Darcy Coates. Like I already said, I really enjoyed Dead Winter, and I feel like she's going to become more of like a Frida McFadden type author for me, where I constantly gravitate towards her books when I'm in a reading slump, because mystery thrillers, perfect cure for those. I am very excited about this one. We have Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I was originally not going to pick this one up because it is a new release, and I didn't want to have like the Emily Henry syndrome where I was getting the new releases and being disappointed by them. But then I remembered that I prefer Abby Jimenez to Emily Henry. Sorry if that's an unpopular opinion. It's just my taste. I've loved Just for the Summer, and I really enjoyed Yours Truly. So I had a feeling that I was really gonna like this one. Wait, I was reading this in the store and I didn't even see this. That's so cute. There might be no such thing as a perfect guy, but Xavier, okay, do y'all say Xavier or Xavier? This is another thing that I don't really know. I think it depends on each person. I've heard it both ways, but I'm gonna say Xavier because I just watched School Spirits and that's how they say it in that show. There might be no such thing as a perfect guy, but Xavier Rush comes disastrously close. A gorgeous veterinarian giving Greek god vibes, all while cuddling a tiny kitten. Immediately yes. That is until Xavier opens his mouth and proves that even sculpted gods can say the absolute wrong thing. Of course, there's nothing Samantha loves more than proving an a-hole wrong. Unless, of course, he can admit he made a mistake. But after one incredible and seemingly endless date, possibly the best in living history, Samantha is forced to admit the truth that her family is in crisis and any kind of relationship would be impossible. Samantha begs Xavier to forget her, to remember their night together as a perfect moment, as crushing as that may be. Only no amount of distance or time is nearly enough to forget that something between them, and the only thing better than one single perfect memory is to make a life, and even a love, worth remembering. I just needed more uplifting books. A lot of the books I got are very dark leaning, and I needed something just cute and fun and happy. This color literally reminds me of cotton candy in the best way. And there's always a dog on her covers too. It's so cute. And I think I'm really gonna like this one. Oh yeah, and the guy at Barnes & Noble also said that he read this one and he really, really enjoyed it. And a lot of the other people that I've read it already also really enjoyed it. Next up, I have The Bandit Queens by Perini Shroff. I love this cover. 5 years ago, Geeta lost her no-good husband, as in she actually lost him. He walked out on her and she has no idea where he is. But in her remote village in India, rumor has it that Geeta him, and it's a rumor that just won't die. As it happens, being known as a self-made widow comes with some perks. No one messes with Geeta, harasses her, or tries to control, marry her. It's even been good for business. No one dares to not buy her jewelry. Frida must look good on Geeta because now other women are asking for her expertise, turning her into an unwitting consultant for husband disposal. And not all the women are asking nicely. With Geeta's dangerous reputation becoming a double-edged sword, she has to find a way to protect the life she's built. But even the best laid plans of would-be widows tend to go awry. What happens next sets in motion a chain of events that will change everything, not just for Geeta, but for all the women in their village. Filled with clever criminals, second chances, and wry and witty women, Perini Shroff's The Bandit Queens is a razor-sharp debut of humor and heart that readers won't soon forget. It's giving dark comedy, and I'm very excited. Long listed for the Women's Prize for Fiction, and it's not that long either. It's less than 350 pages. Yeah, 335. It just seems like a fun, dark comedy. I love dark humor. It's just perfect for me. I'm always in the mood for it. And the premise is just hysterical. I actually saw this randomly. It was kind of like sticking out of a shelf. It wasn't facing that way. It was just, I saw like that much of it. And I thought it was really interesting. I tried to find it on Libby because I wasn't entirely sure if I was feeling this book, but my library did not have it and I didn't want to wait for them to order it. So, The Bandit Queens. I have 2 more left in this bag. This one I've been waiting for a while. I've always been on the fence about it, and I always gravitate towards it and then don't pick it up, and today I picked it up. It is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. It has one of the covers that I don't really like, where it's like this, but that's okay. Patricia Campbell's life has never felt smaller. Her husband is a workaholic, her teenage kids have their own lives, her senile mother-in-law needs constant care, and she's always a step behind on her endless to-do list. The only thing keeping her sane is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by their love of true crime. Then, James Harris walks in her life during the summer of 1993. He makes her feel things she hasn't felt in years, but when children on the other side of town go missing, Patricia wonders if he's connected. This last line, is he a Brad Pitt, a Bundy, or something much worse? Again, dark comedy vibes. I just feel like this is gonna be super, super fun. And I know myself well enough to know that I'm gonna have a good time with this. I think it's gonna have a lot in it that I really, really like. And I'm very excited. This has been on my non-physical TBR, like my Goodreads TBR, for a very, very long time. And I think it's gonna be really fun. Okay. Last book from Barnes & Noble was, not the bag, the last book from Barnes & Noble was one that I just saw out of the corner of my eye. I've never heard of it. I've heard of the author. I'm not entirely sure. Oh wait, that's why I know him. He's the author of Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is crazy because this book has an entirely different premise than that one. But I loved the Perks of Being a Wallflower, so I think this one will pan out for me, even though it has, again, one of those covers that I hate. Single mother Kate Reese is on the run, determined to improve life for herself and her son Christopher. She flees an abusive relationship in the middle of the night with her child. Together they find themselves drawn to the tight-knit community of Mill Grove, Pennsylvania. It's as far off the beaten track as they can get, just one highway in, one highway out. That's terrifying in and of itself. At first, it seems like the perfect place to finally settle down. Then Christopher vanishes. For 6 long days, no one can find him until Christopher emerges from the woods at the edge of town. Unharmed, but not unchanged. He returns with a voice in his head only he can hear, with a mission only he can complete. Build a treehouse in the woods by Christmas, or his mother and everyone in the town will never be the same again. The little blurb on the back says, if you grew up reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower, you won't want to miss this. I don't want to miss it. This is so exciting. I love new books. I have a box and I have 2 bags. So I'm going to start with the bags and then I'll have to go get a box cutter. But I'm going to start with these for right now. I'm so excited. I've already read this book. I gave it 5 stars in February and I needed it on my shelf because I know that I will be rereading this at some point and I do not want to wait in line at the library, and I love it enough that I want a physical copy. 7 Days in June. This book was perfect. It was everything to me. It still is. Why do they make covers like this? I don't like it. Oh my god, I'm so happy I own this. I don't think I'm going to be able to loan this copy out to people because I love it so much. I read this over my birthday. I did not do a reading vlog on it because I originally thought that I was going to be kind of indifferent towards it. I'm not really the biggest romance fan. This book was perfect. 5 stars. I highly recommend it, and it was just a great time, and I cannot wait to add it to my bookshelves because it's perfect. Y'all, I'm so excited about this one. I'm not going to read the description on the back because everyone and their mother has been reading this recently, and I was getting FOMO really bad, to be honest. I did not realize that this was the large print version. Like, look at how big these words are. So that's a little interesting, but it's okay. Maybe I should just read the fine print on Amazon a little bit better. But it is The Favorites by Lynn Fargo. Like, even the back, just look at the back text. It's ginormous. So, okay, this will definitely be quicker to read because of how big the words are. But like I said, everyone has been reading it. I feel like I've seen, every time I go on YouTube, a new booktuber has read this, a new book talker has read it, and I really want to read it. I'm getting FOMO. And that's all. You guys know, it's ice skating, drama. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The toxicity of Magnolia Parks, I've heard, and it just seems like a grand old time. I need to open the box for this to make sense because this is the 3rd book in the series, and I have the 2nd one in this box, so I'll be right back. I'm so excited. I love getting books. It's like Christmas. Oh my god, why are they not the same size? Ooh, that's gonna annoy me so bad. I just need to tell myself it's not a big deal, but it kind of is. It's like half an inch off. That's so annoying. If you know, you know. But this is book 2 and book 3 in the Broken Earth trilogy. I read 5th season in January because it was my local book club's, monthly book. And I really, really loved it. This book is very highly rated. I think I touched on it in my January and February wrap up, where this is it's the only trilogy where every single book was nominated for and won the Hugo Award. They're all winner of the Hugo Award, but all 3 of them won. Really love the series. It's very unique. It's very different in a very, very good way. And I got both of these because I don't want to forget what happened in 5th season and then be lost. So I just got both of these to keep myself on track, because I have a horrible habit of starting series and then stopping in the middle, and then I don't remember what's going on. That's what these 2 are for. Oh my god, the tower is leaning. Okay, it's gonna fall down. I need to break this up. And then my local book club's book pick for April is Circe by Madeline Miller, which I'm also very excited about because I loved Song of Achilles and I love Greek mythology. It's one of the most interesting things in the world to me. In the house of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. But Circe is a strange child, not powerful like her father, nor viciously alluring like her mother. Turning to the world of mortals for companionship, she discovers that she does possess power, the power of witchcraft, which can transform rivals into monsters and menace the gods themselves. Threatened, Zeus banishes Circe to a deserted island where she hones her occult craft and crosses paths with many of the most famous figures in all of mythology, including the Minotaur, and his doomed son. These names are kind of hard to pronounce. And his doomed son, Icarus, the murderous Medea, and of course, wily Odysseus. But there is danger too, for a woman who stands alone, and Circe unwittingly draws the wrath of both men and gods, ultimately finding herself pitted against one of the most terrifying and vengeful of the Olympians. Circe must summon her strength and choose once and for all whether she belongs to the gods she is born from or the mortal she has come to love. I've only read Song of Achilles, but I really enjoyed the way that she did a retelling of that story, so I'm assuming that this one is kind of along the same line. But yeah, you guys know what I'm gonna say. I'm excited. Okay, this is such a bold move on my part, but it's probably the thing that I am most excited about, and I'm gonna sound crazy when you find out what it is. I got the box set for the Sweet Pea books, which is definitely bold because it's the entirety of a series. However, I finished Sweet Pea a few days ago. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I watched the TV series, fell in love with it. I binged the entire show in a single sitting because the premise is so ridiculous, but it's such a good time. And I had the best time reading the book. Rhiannon is so unhinged, but she's so funny. And the balance of just darkness with humor, perfect combo. She's definitely one of my favorite protagonists. Is she even a protagonist? Not really. She's just a character. She's one of the best characters that I've ever read about, and it's so fun. So the premise for Sweet Pea, Rhiannon is your average girl next door, but she's hiding a killer secret. Although her childhood was haunted by a famous crime, Rhiannon's life is normal now that her celebrity has dwindled. By day, her job as an editorial assistant is demeaning and unsatisfying. By evening, she dutifully listens to her friends' plans for marriage while secretly making a list. From the man at the checkout who always mishandles her apples to the driver who cuts her off on her way to work, to the people who have got it coming, Rhiannon is ready to get her revenge because the girl everyone overlooks might be able to get away with the M word. So I really enjoyed it so much that I just went ahead and I got the box set for the rest of them because I know I'm going to read these books. I just didn't want to buy them individually because it was actually cheaper for me to get the box set as opposed to, buying the books one at a time. So I feel like I got a really good deal, and I really think I'm going to love this series. I gave Sweet Pea, I think 4 stars, but it was so much fun, and I'm really excited to just keep seeing what Rhiannon's getting herself into. With all of that said and done, that is the end of our massive book haul. I know I said at the beginning of this video that my MO was getting the Special Games Hunger Editions. The only one they had was the box set with the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I like the original cover of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I just don't have my copy of Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay because I had to get rid of them all those years ago when I moved. So I believe my next step, not now or today, but eventually I would like to order the special editions online and just have them shipped to my house so that I can have those copies. But this is absolutely everything. I do not see myself doing a book haul, at least to this size, until next year. I think I'm set. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you had fun. I know my the book shopping part of this vlog was very quiet. Like I didn't really do a lot of talking because it's kind of difficult to film in public, especially in a smaller store like Thank You Books. And there were surprisingly a lot of people in Barnes today, not as many as there usually is on Sundays, which is why I wanted to go today on Saturday. But I hope you like this video. Comment down below oh my gosh. Comment down below which one of these books I should read first, or if you have read any of them, what your thoughts and opinions are, what your favorite books are. You guys know I love to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything. Again, thank you so much for watching this video and for dealing with the ever-changing lighting that is in this room because of the time of day it is. I love and appreciate you guys so much, way more than you know, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Okay, bye.